And I recently made this teaching point with the medical students that I teach with about Freud's theory about the different parts or components of the brain, like the id, the ego, and the superego. So the id is basically our instinctual drives. It's our innate needs that we have to survive, like eating, sleeping. A lot of times you can put in like aggression, sex, those impulses into the id. The ego is a little bit more psychological. There's some gray areas there. It's about maybe more related to like self-esteem, self-worth. Pride can fit in there. People are very selfish or self-centered. That could be related to the ego. And then there's the superego, which is like the moral principles, like the right and wrong, good versus evil. And this superego, now these are just concepts that Freud talked about maybe over a century ago. These theories, psychological theories, develop over time, but the superego can trump over the ego and the id. For example, there are saints that fast for days. People are able to curb their impulses for sex. They're able to curb their impulses for food in order for the greater good, in order to pray more, to do good for others, or in order to sacrifice their own needs. Like you see parents who will sacrifice sleeping in order to help their infants or their newborns. Our innate body needs, these instinctual drives, the id, can be decreased or can be changed based on our moral principles and how right we live that. And so the spiritual aspect, I think, is incredibly important and often overlooked into mental health, but it's really something that oftentimes we may need to prioritize in order to have sound health and healing.